If you're looking to sew a really easy woven top pattern, I'm going to make this one in this video. Hey guys, I'm Tammy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to sew the Phoebe top sewing pattern and hopefully it will take me about an hour. I keep seeing so many tops on my Pinterest that are kind of boxy and loose but still feel nice and stylish. So I've decided to use this really lovely linen crepe fabric to recreate that style. I personally love to make tops that are just so easy to throw on, so I thought this would be the perfect fabric and pattern pairing. Thank you to Brother for sponsoring today's video. So the Phoebe top comes in sizes 6 to 32 and it's a very easy, simple sew. So it's going to be great if you want a really quick project to get you back into sewing. I've already stuck the pages together to get the full size pattern. So let's go ahead and cut out my fabric. So I've just gone ahead and cut everything out. I've got my facing pieces, my front and back and my sleeves. You can use interfacing to interface the facing pieces, but personally I'm not going to be doing that because I want it to be quite nice and lightweight. So I'm going to go over to my iron and just press these pieces nice and flat. I realised if you're wondering what I'm wearing my Cara cardigan sewing pattern, and I'm also wearing my new Romy top sewing pattern underneath. This is a t-shirt variation. I love making clothes I genuinely feel relaxed in. It also make me feel cute, which is why I thought I'd make another variation of the Phoebe top today. So I'm just using a bit of steam to just press the fabric flat. I'm always really bad at remembering to press my fabric before I cut out. I realised as I was cutting this fabric out, it's actually also really slippery to work with. So we'll see how easy this is to sew. One thing I'd love to know as well, your guys' advice, is whenever I've been using this iron recently, it's such a good one. It's by Tefal. It keeps leaving like white, I guess like lime scale when I iron it recently. I do iron a lot and I just need to find a way to stop it putting white stuff all over the fabric. I know some people in the past have said to use vinegar inside the iron, but then I find all my clothes literally stink of vinegar. So do let me know if you have any tips for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually sew the facing pieces together. I've got the front facing, which basically looks like a V, and then the back facing that looks more kind of circular. You want to put the facings together with the right sides together, so basically like that, and you just want to pin the shoulder seams together. That is the facing pieces all clipped together. Now I'm just going to sew the shoulder seams using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I overlocked the edge and that is what that looks like, just these shoulder seams. You can use pinking shears if you don't have an overlocker, anything just basically to neaten that seam. So that's what that should look like. What we're going to do now is actually overlock and finish the outside edge of the entire facing piece. This just means that it won't fray and it will be nice and long wearing. So if I open it up, I'll show you what I mean. You basically want to finish this edge right here all the way around because that's the outside. I always get so many questions what sewing machine brand I personally recommend, and hands down it's always Brother, which are what my both machines are behind me. Honestly, they are always just so hard wearing, so easy to use, and personally I just love to use them. So the overlocker I have is the Brother Airflow 3000. It threads itself, which is literally insane. It always works, I never have any issues with it, and it just sews beautifully. They do have a more budget friendly version, which I'll also leave linked down below. That was my first overlocker. This is my second overlocker, so it's definitely a bit more expensive, but oh my god, so worth it. And then my sewing machine is the Brother Innovis VQ4. Again, it is literally my favorite sewing machine. It's nice and advanced. It has so many stitches, so many features I didn't even realize you could get in a sewing machine until I started playing with this one. And it's really leveled up my sewing and how much I enjoy it because everything just always works. So if you are on the lookout for a new sewing machine, I'll leave a link to Brother's range of sewing machines down below because I know you're going to love them. I am just going to go ahead now and press the entire facing flat and also the shoulder seam. So I'm going to put the facing to one side now, And we're going to sew the shoulder seams of the front and back top. So this is the front top right here. I actually cut the V about an inch shorter because I wanted it to be a bit lower on me. And I also added about ½ an inch to the bottom of the top just to give it a bit more length. So let's sew the shoulder seams together. So now that I've gone ahead and sewn the side seams of the top, I'm going to go and overlock them as well, just neaten the edges. I'm just going to go ahead and press the shoulder seams towards the back. I always tell complete beginners that are asking for advice that the most simple way to make your clothes look less homemade and more professional is honestly to take the time to press your garments, because the amount of people that don't do this and then wonder why nothing sits as it should or it lays correctly, 9 times out of 10 it's because you haven't been bothered to actually press the seams, and it actually makes a huge difference, more than you think. So I'm going to sew the facing to the top now. I like to open it out and lay it on my table, just like this, so the right side is facing up. And I then like to go and take my facing piece and place this with the wrong side facing up. So both right sides are touching, and you basically want to align and clip the neckline. So when I'm always actually working with facings, I always like to pin the center front and the center back first, just so I know that lines up. And then I'll go ahead and pin the shoulder seams so those match up. And then I'll pin the rest of the facing. So it should basically look like this now that I've pinned it in place. We're going to go ahead and sew this. I like to use a ½ an inch seam allowance all the way around. And then I also like to get some scissors and actually clip it around at the end. I'll show you how to do that. So this is what the top is looking like now that I've sewn the facing to the neckline, and that's what the front looks like. Like I said, now I'm actually going to go ahead and trim the seam allowance of the neckline, just so it's easier to turn and it will lay more flat. So right at this V point, at the center V neckline, I'm going to take a pair of scissors and literally snip right into the V, but I'm going to make sure I don't actually cut the stitching. So like that. So hopefully you can see here I've just cut right into that point, and that just means when I go ahead and turn this over, it's going to lie nice and flat. You can do that all the way around and actually snip little V's to help the curve lie flatter. I'm just going to actually just trim the seam allowance to be smaller. You do want to make sure when you're trimming down your seam allowances like that, you don't accidentally cut your stitches, because that can definitely happen if you are a complete beginner. But just take your time and try to be as clean of a line as possible. So that's what that's looking like. In the instructions, I do tell you to understitch the facing, which is a technique you can do to help it stop rolling from the right side. I personally am not going to do this time because I actually want to top stitch the facing down at the front, so I don't need to do both. But what we're going to do now is basically roll the facing inside all the way around and just press it flat with our iron so you can't see it from the right side. So this is what the top is looking like now that I've gone ahead and top stitched the neckline down. You can see that's what the V neckline looks like from the front, and then the back looks like this. It's so nice and easy to sew. So this is what I mean by the facing being top stitched. So right here, hopefully you can see there's like a tiny stitching line here on the right side, and on the wrong side this is where we've got the facing piece, but I've basically sewn it down so it won't flap out as much. If you want, you can definitely go ahead and sew a line and actually sew the facing down at the bottom all the way around. That does actually make a really nice finishing touch. Personally, I'm just going to leave it like this because I like it to be a bit more minimalistic with the stitching. But now it's time to sew the sleeves onto the top, and honestly it's much easier than you think, and I break it down really simply. So in the same way that we did the neckline, we want to put the top with the right side facing up onto the table, and then we're going to take one of the sleeve pieces and put it right side facing down directly on top, and we're just going to align the armhole over here. I marked a little notch at the center part of the sleeve, so I'm just going to put that in place first, and then I'm just going to pin the rest of the armhole. So that's the armhole now fully pinned in place. Again, I'm just going to sew this at my sewing machine using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So the sleeves have now been sewn to the armhole, and it looks like that. I've also done the same for the other sleeve as well down here. It does look a bit funky when you haven't sewn the side seams up yet, but again, I did go ahead and just overlock the seam as well around the shoulder seam, and I also just pressed it nice and flat with my iron because, like I said before, pressing really makes a huge difference in how your final garment looks like. So now what we're going to do is actually sew the side seams, and you'll start to see the t-shirt really coming to shape. So what I want to do is basically put the t-shirt out like this, so the right side is facing up right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and take one of the hem of the tops and just fold it over the other, and if I just swivel that round, hopefully you can see the t-shirt shape is now making a bit more sense. So we've got the side seams here and the underarm seams here, so we're just going to pin these in place and just make sure the right sides are touching. I always find whenever I hack a pattern, I mean I haven't really hacked this pattern, I've just lowered the V neckline slightly, that I always get so many questions on how to actually have the confidence to chop and change and play around with patterns you already own. Honestly, it's not that hard, it really isn't. It takes just a lot of guesswork and trial and error to see what works for your body. But even just the act of lowering necklines and playing around with the length of the pattern makes a huge difference. You literally most of the times just need to draw a new line on the pattern piece, and if there's any gaping you can just pinch it out, and it makes such a big difference to how many different types of styles you can get from one pattern. That's actually why a lot of my patterns now come with multiple variations and options. Like I'm working on a top sewing pattern at the moment, the Romy top, and that one has so many sleeves and neckline variations, hem lengths, so you can really choose the style you want, because I personally love to get multiple uses out of just one sewing pattern. If you are looking for patterns like that, I definitely leave a link in my description box on where you can find my sewing patterns. So I'm just going ahead and clipping the other side, and that is the kind of underarm and sleeve clipped together like that. You can see I've done it on both sides. So I'm just going to take this to my sewing machine and just sew it like we've done already with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then also overlock the end. Okay, so the top is so nearly done. That is what it's looking like. It's so breezy and comfortable, and I can't wait to try this on. All we have to do now is basically hem the sleeves and the bottom of the top. Normally when I'm hemming clothes, I like to press the seam down and then clip it in place, but this fabric is definitely quite spongy. I think I'm just going to go ahead and clip it first, sew it, and then press it. But either way, you just want to do a double fold hem, which is basically just folding the edge in towards the wrong side twice by about 1/2 inch, totally up to you, and then sewing along that and pressing it. Everything's been pinned in place now all along the hem and also the sleeves, and I'm just going to go ahead now and sew this at my sewing machine and press it flat. So this is the entire top completely sewn. I love this colour. Let me show you what it looks like on. hope you enjoyed seeing how I sew the Phoebe top sewing pattern. Honestly, it's so much easier to sew than you think, and it results in such a gorgeous and wearable top. I'll leave a link down below where you can find the pattern on my website. I think it took me about an hour and a half to sew the entire thing, which is actually pretty good considering I had to film this as well. It really is one of my favourite patterns when you want something quick to throw together, and it's also just so easy to style and wear, especially for holidays. So definitely let me know down in the comments what you think of this pattern and the fabric that I use, and I'll see you in the next one.